The clock is ticking for those who have yet to file their annual tax return. The Canada Revenue Agency's deadline is tomorrow. It's also the last day to pay any outstanding balance to avoid owing interest. Anyone who is self-employed still has until June 15th to file. Joining me now is Douglas Hoyes, personal finances expert. Good morning. Thanks so much for being with us. So
Good morning.
tomorrow is deadline day to pay our taxes. Are most Canadians usually on time with their filing?
They are, but there's obviously two groups of people. There's the group of people who get a refund, and they're the ones who jump on it quickly. They've probably had them filed a month or two ago. And then you've got the people who, well, I know I owe money, so what's the point in filing early? Those are the people who've got the most risk, of course, because as you mentioned, if you don't file and pay by April 30th, you can get hit with late filing penalties and interest. So it's definitely not something you want to be late on.
All right, so if you don't pay on time, in addition to what you've just outlined, are there other consequences? Could you lose any benefits?
Yes, and in fact, the Canada carbon rebate, which was issued for the 2023 year, the first one came out on April 15th of this year. You only got it if you filed your 2023 taxes by March 15th. So even people who are filing today, they're not late filing their taxes, but they are going to be late getting that particular benefit. So if you file today, it might be 6 or 8 weeks before you get the first payment that a bunch of people already got on April 15th. So yes, any kind of benefits you get, you want to get your taxes filed. The same thing would be with the Canada Child Benefit. It's based on the tax year. The first payment for the new year comes out in July. But again, if you don't get your taxes filed on time, you're not going to get that. So you get your benefits by filing, but then you also get hit with the penalties if you don't. So it's a double whammy.
What are the options, if any, for Canadians who cannot afford to pay the taxes that they owe?
Number one, you want to get them filed so at least you're not getting hit with penalties and interest. That's key. But if you can't pay in full on April 30th, then number one thing to do is talk to CRA and say, okay, look, I can't pay the whole thing, but can you put me on a payment plan? Because if you can get it paid off over the next 6 months, even over the next year, CRA will work with you. They're going to charge you interest, but nothing further will happen. If you have far more debt than you can hope to repay, and that's what we see with a lot of our clients who perhaps owed for last year and now they're going to owe for this year as well, then one of the options is to do a consumer proposal if you've got enough debt and if it makes sense, where we can work out a payment plan with CRA and your other creditors. Whether that's the right option for you will depend on your individual situation. So obviously you want to get some expert advice from a licensed insolvency trustee before making that decision.
And what are you hearing from people about how easy it is to access CRA right now, to actually speak with someone to help you out?
If you want to talk to a human being, it's not easy. You got to get up early in the morning. If their phone line's open at 8, you want to be the first one in line, and you might have to wait a while to do that. But they do have a ton of stuff that's available online. You definitely want to register for your own CRA account so that you can go online. You can see all your T-slips. You can see where your tax refund is at. You can see what benefits you're eligible for. So a lot of the stuff you can get online, and that's far more efficient than waiting to talk to a representative.